In this video, we are counting down the top 8 nutrition mistakes seniors make. Silent habits that speed up aging, drain your energy, and even cut years off your life. Here's the shocking truth. 99% of seniors are making at least one of these mistakes without even realizing it. Nearly 40% of adults over 65 are missing key nutrients. More than 1 in 3 lose so much muscle, it raises their fall risk by 60%. And falls? They're the #1 cause of injury-related death in older adults. The worst part is the culprits aren't even exotic. They're right in front of you. In fact, the #1 nutrition mistake, the one almost every senior makes, raises frailty by more than 40%. And fixing it is surprisingly simple. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, what's one food you know you should give up but haven't yet? And tell us where you're watching from. Our Senior Zone community is growing all over the world, and we'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get started with mistake number 8.
Number 8. Over-reliance on supplements instead of food. Many seniors believe that if they pop a daily multivitamin, they've covered all their bases. It's an easy trap to fall into because supplement companies promise convenience. The problem is that whole foods and supplements are not interchangeable. Whole foods contain thousands of compounds that work together in ways science still doesn't fully understand, while supplements usually deliver isolated nutrients. For example, when you eat an orange, you're not just getting vitamin C, you're getting fiber, flavonoids, potassium, and dozens of antioxidants that all interact to boost your immune system. A pill with vitamin C alone can't reproduce that synergy. A large study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine followed more than 30,000 adults over 50 and found that people who relied heavily on supplements showed no reduced risk of heart disease, cancer, or early death compared to those who got nutrients from food. In fact, taking high doses of some supplements, like vitamin E or beta-carotene, was linked to a slight increase in mortality risk. That's the exact opposite of what seniors hope for. How to fix it? Supplements should be used as a backup, not a replacement. If a blood test shows you're low in vitamin D or B12, then yes, a targeted supplement can help. But the foundation must always be real food. Prioritize meals rich in color and variety. Think spinach salads, lentil soups, salmon, berries, and oats. If you enjoy tea, green tea offers antioxidants that pills can't package. Build meals around whole ingredients, and then let supplements fill in only the rare gaps. Even when seniors do eat real food, many forget one simple building block that keeps digestion and heart health strong. Number 7. Too much sugar, especially in drinks. Sugar sneaks in more than people realize. Sweet teas, sodas, flavored waters, and so-called healthy juices are everywhere. A single 12-ounce can of soda carries about 39 grams of sugar. That's nearly 10 teaspoons in one drink. Seniors often underestimate this because sugary drinks don't make you feel full, so you can down hundreds of calories without realizing it. Over time, that excess sugar spikes insulin, adds belly fat, and accelerates aging. One study in Circulation followed over 118,000 adults for 30 years and found that people who drank sugar-sweetened beverages daily had a 31% higher risk of early death, mostly from heart disease. For seniors, the risks stack higher because the pancreas already works harder with age, making insulin resistance more likely. Too much sugar also damages blood vessels, raising stroke risk, and it even affects the brain, leading to memory decline. How to fix it? Start by cutting sugary drinks in half. Replace sodas and sweet teas with sparkling water infused with lemon or cucumber. If you love juice, dilute it with water until your taste adjusts. Herbal teas like hibiscus or chamomile can give flavor without sugar. Even coffee is fine if you limit added sugar and creamers. Within weeks of reducing sugary drinks, seniors often notice more stable energy, better digestion, and sometimes even clearer thinking. But drinks aren't the only problem. What about the easy meals and snacks that come in shiny packages? Number 6. Not enough calcium and vitamin D. Here's the shocking truth. More than 50% of seniors over 60 are deficient in vitamin D, and around 1 in 3 women over 65 don't get enough calcium. That's a recipe for brittle bones, fractures, and a much higher chance of falls, the number one cause of injury in older adults. Calcium is the raw material bones need, while vitamin D helps the body absorb it. Without both, bones hollow out quietly until one small trip or a slit causes a break. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that seniors who got adequate calcium and vitamin D had a 33% lower risk of hip fractures compared to those who didn't. And the impact goes beyond bones. Vitamin D also plays a role in muscle strength and even mood regulation. Low vitamin D is linked to depression and weaker immunity, which seniors can't afford. How to fix it? The best natural source of calcium is dairy. Milk, yogurt, cheese. But if you're lactose intolerant, you can turn to fortified plant milks, leafy greens like kale, or canned salmon with bones. For vitamin D, sunlight is key, but as skin thins with age, it produces less. Aim for at least 15 minutes of safe sun exposure a few times a week, and back it up with foods like fatty fish, fortified cereals, and mushrooms exposed to UV light. Staying strong isn't only about bones, though. It's also about keeping enough water flowing through the body. Number 5. Dehydration from lack of fluids. This one is sneaky because many seniors don't even realize they're dehydrated. As the body ages, the natural thirst mechanism dulls, meaning older adults may not feel thirsty even when their body desperately needs water. Add to that medications that increase fluid loss, like diuretics or blood pressure pills, and it's easy to see why dehydration is so common. In fact, studies suggest that nearly 1 in 3 seniors admitted to hospitals are dehydrated on arrival, and that dehydration alone can double the risk of complications. When the body runs low on fluids, the blood thickens, making the heart work harder. The kidneys strain, trying to filter waste with less water. The brain also suffers. Even mild dehydration of just 2% of body weight can cause headaches, dizziness, and confusion. Symptoms often mistaken for dementia in seniors. And long-term, it contributes to constipation, urinary tract infections, and even kidney stones. How to fix it? The golden rule is not to wait until you're thirsty, but to sip water regularly throughout the day. Aim for at least 6 to 8 cups daily, but remember this can also come from foods. Soups, smoothies, melons, cucumbers, and even herbal teas all count toward hydration. A good tip is to keep a clear water bottle nearby and track how many times you finish it. If plain water feels boring, infuse it with fruit slices or mint. And for those with kidney or heart conditions, check with your doctor for a safe target. Seniors who keep hydration in check often notice improved energy, fewer dizzy spells, and even smoother digestion within days. Once hydration is sorted, the next silent thief of health hides in an old diet myth about fat. Number 4. Fear of healthy fats. For decades, low-fat diets were promoted as the ultimate health fix. Many seniors grew up hearing that fat was dangerous for the heart, so they cut it out as much as possible. The trouble is, not all fats are created equal, and avoiding the good ones robs the body of vital fuel. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in foods like salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds, are critical for brain health. They reduce inflammation, keep joints lubricated, and even protect against depression. Monounsaturated fats, like those in olive oil and avocados, support heart health by raising good HDL cholesterol. A study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology showed that older adults who consumed diets rich in omega-3s had a 20% lower risk of dementia compared to those who ate very little. Another large-scale review found that replacing just 5% of daily calories from saturated fat with unsaturated fats reduced the risk of heart disease by 25%. That's a huge impact from a simple dietary shift. The problem is when seniors keep clinging to the outdated fat-free or low-fat products, they'd often end up consuming more sugar and processed carbs instead. That swap is far worse for blood sugar and arteries. How to fix it? Bring back the healthy fats in a smart way. Add olive oil to salads, spread avocado on toast, snack on a handful of nuts, or cook fish twice a week. If cost is a barrier, canned sardines or mackerel are affordable omega-3 sources. The key is moderation and quality. Avoid trans fats found in margarine and fried snacks, but embrace the natural, heart-friendly ones. Over time, seniors who reintroduce healthy fats often notice sharper thinking, less joint stiffness, and better cholesterol numbers. Once fats are no longer feared, the spotlight shifts to processed foods that sneak into daily life and slowly wear the body down. Number 3. Overdoing processed and packaged foods. Convenience is tempting. Frozen dinners, microwave meals, salty snacks, and packaged pastries save time and energy. But relying on them too often comes at a high price. Processed foods are usually loaded with sodium, sugar, preservatives, and unhealthy fats while being stripped of fiber and real nutrients. For seniors who already face higher risks of high blood pressure, diabetes, and inflammation, this creates a dangerous combination. One study in BMJ looked at people who ate the highest amounts of ultra-processed foods and found they had a 62% higher risk of dying from all causes compared to those who ate the least. Another study found that high sodium intake, common in frozen or canned meals, increased the risk of stroke by 23%. And the excess additives can trigger inflammation, which is linked to arthritis flare-ups and faster cognitive decline. How to fix it? The goal is not to ban all processed foods, because convenience matters, but to make smarter swaps. Choose low-sodium canned beans or vegetables instead of regular versions. Keep frozen berries or spinach for quick smoothies instead of sugary desserts. And when buying bread or cereals, look for options with at least 3 grams of fiber per serving. Cooking a batch of whole grains like brown rice or quinoa once a week can also make healthy meals faster. For those who struggle with energy, preparing simple meals like scrambled eggs with spinach or tuna on whole grain toast can be just as quick as microwaving a frozen dinner, but far more nourishing. And now, with sugar, fats, processed foods, and hydration covered, we're getting closer to the mistakes that matter most, the ones that directly affect energy, strength, and independence every single day. Number 2, skipping fiber. Fiber is one of the most underappreciated nutrients, and skipping it creates a cascade of health problems. Many seniors naturally shift towards softer, refined foods as chewing becomes harder or appetites shrink. White bread, pastries, and processed cereals become staples, while fibrous foods like vegetables, beans, and whole grains are often neglected. The problem is that fiber isn't just roughage, it's the fuel that keeps digestion smooth, cholesterol in check, and blood sugar balanced. Constipation is the most obvious consequence, and it can make life miserable. Studies show that up to 40% of adults over 65 struggle with regular constipation, and low fiber intake is one of the main reasons. But it doesn't stop there. A landmark study published in The Lancet found that people with the highest fiber intake had a 15 to 30% lower risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and colorectal cancer compared to those who ate the least. Fiber also feeds the gut microbiome, the community of trillions of bacteria living in the intestines that play a huge role in immunity and even mental health. Without enough fiber, the microbiome weakens, leaving seniors more vulnerable to infections and inflammation. Start slow if your body isn't used to high-fiber foods. Add half a cup of berries to breakfast, switch from white bread to whole grain, or toss beans into a salad or soup. Aim for at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber daily, but increase gradually with plenty of fluids to avoid bloating. Great choices include oatmeal, lentils, apples with skin, carrots, and flax seeds. Over time, seniors who boost fiber intake often notice smoother digestion, lighter cholesterol numbers, steadier energy, and even a brighter mood thanks to the gut-brain connection. And now we've reached the most critical mistake of all, the one that determines whether seniors stay strong and independent or face a rapid decline. Number 1, not getting enough protein. Here it is. The single most dangerous and overlooked nutrition mistake seniors make after 60, cutting back on protein. Many reduce meat because of chewing difficulties, outdated fears about kidney strain, or simply smaller appetites. Others forget that plant-based proteins can fill the gap. The result is a dangerous condition called sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. By age 60, the average adult loses about 3% of muscle mass every year, and without enough protein, that decline accelerates. Muscle isn't just about strength. It's the key to independence. It keeps you steady when walking, protects joints, and even supports immune defenses. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 2,900 seniors and found that those with the lowest protein intake were 40% more likely to become frail than those who met their needs. Another trial showed that increasing protein improved recovery speed after illness and reduced hospital stays. Low protein also weakens antibody production, leaving seniors vulnerable to infections, and slows wound healing, making even small injuries more dangerous. How to fix it? Seniors should aim for about 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That means if you weigh 70 kilograms, about 154 pounds, you should aim for 70 to 84 grams daily. Spread it across meals to keep muscles fed throughout the day. Excellent sources include eggs, Greek yogurt, fish, chicken, beans, lentils, tofu, and nuts. For those with chewing difficulties, smoothies with protein-rich yogurt, milk, or whey powder can help. Even a bowl of oatmeal can be boosted with nut butter or chia seeds. The goal is not bodybuilding but maintaining enough lean muscle to stay strong, avoid falls, and recover quickly from illness. Seniors who consistently meet their protein needs often report higher energy, steadier weight, and more confidence in daily movement.
Here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean weakness or decline. It comes down to what's on your plate. Sugary drinks, processed snacks, and sodium-packed meals steal your strength and energy. But real food, lean protein, fiber-rich veggies, omega-3 fish, and fresh fruit, they work like medicine, rebuilding muscle, protecting your heart, and keeping your mind sharp. If you fix one thing, make it protein. It's the single most powerful weapon against frailty, falls, and hospital stays. So here's your action plan. Swap one sugary drink for water. Trade one processed snack for fruits or nuts. And add a protein source to every meal. Small moves, big impact. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment with one food you're cutting out and one you're adding in. We'll be watching and we'll pin the best answers. And if this video opened your eyes, hit like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more. Thanks for hanging out with us. Take care of your health, and we'll see you soon on Senior Zone.